Wondering if you could just walk us through the process of putting in that fake punt play and specifically Tommy's performance on the play and the throw.
One of the first things we did as soon as we got Tommy, we wanted to see what kind of things that he could do, as a just athlete. We knew he could take off. We saw that on tape, but weren't sure if he could throw, and put him through some throwing drills, and he could throw that ball pretty good. So, we started working on that play actually back in training camp, and it's been up a couple of weeks, which means it was game ready to go, probably about 3 weeks in a row. And we just didn't have the situation where it would come up to we have to use it until that particular play right there. So, he executed it great. I thought he handled it great. He didn't show any tentativeness in the throw. He kind of stepped into it and made a nice throw. A little high, a little higher than we'd like to see, but he's throwing it out there to a wide receiver that can catch the ball. And, Pringle he's a playmaker. So we felt pretty comfortable with the play.
Let's go next to Pete Sweeney. Go, Pete.
Good afternoon. Just to follow up on that, what are your nerves like? I know that you've seen Tommy throw in practice, but what are your nerves personally like when it's the call and it's in game and he's about to throw the pass for the first down?
Yeah, by the time we get to a game, we've practiced it so many times, that it looks good. Because if it doesn't look good, we don't put it in. We don't practice. We don't have it up. But if we have a play up and the situation's right, we don't flinch. We're going to call stuff. So we call it, and we didn't flinch on that one. And then Tommy made a great throw, and Pringle made a nice catch, and they executed it perfectly. It kept the drive going in an important part of the game. I mean, it's 7-3. They're going to get the ball back there. They had a little bit of momentum going right there, and that kind of took the momentum away. That's one thing that we want to try to do on special team is flip momentum, provide a spark for a football team, create field position on offense and defense. So that's, we did our job there.
Let's go next to Seren Petro. Go ahead, Seren.
And Brett, I have a follow-up to this. Just for technical side of things, right? I'm sure I know on your side, you probably
I'm sorry. I didn't hear the first part. I'm sorry. I mean, it was kind of cutting in and out.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. Just on a technical side, I know you probably dive into the rule book maybe more than anybody because of where you're at, but how does that work as far as like if they're trying to put a jam on you on a punt and you end up throwing the ball, how's the pass interference holding? How's all that work into the formation of things?
That's a great question, because in a punt formation, you're allowed to interfere with a player, the outside gunner. So to prevent you from throwing those routes, really, it's a rule that they put in years back. The only thing that a defense can get called for is holding. They can't hold the guy if he takes off on you. But you can, if the ball's in the air, you can hit the receiver, which would be a gunner. You could hit him before the ball gets there legally. So that's one thing that, we teach our corners out there, is that if they, if they do throw that thing, just don't go for the ball. Just go knock the guy. You can knock him on the ground before the ball gets there, because you can't call interference on the widest guy. There's no interference call on that.
And just kind of twofold. One, like there's so many little nuances like that, right? On the special teams, like how much can you make that stick, right? Because I've in the old days, we used to be able to be close to your practices, right? And I could hear all the coaches and everything. And I remember messages being sent and game day would come around and guys wouldn't follow it because there's just so many messages you have to send. How do you make sure that all those little nuances are there for so many different guys that are coming and going on your unit?
Yeah, it's a constant battle. I mean, to be honest with you, it's a constant teaching moment. We show tapes, we show clips of big plays that happen to every other team in the league every week. We look at that stuff and we try to learn, from their mistakes and from the things that they've done right. And we talk about it all the time. And we coach both sides of it. You're coaching the offensive side and the defensive side. So, you just have to keep pounding it in their head. I mean, that's what it is. It's coaching, it's teaching. And, it's just repetitions and tape review, and then practice. We get out there and we practice exactly how it's going to be in the game. And we put them in those situations and, see how they react. And they, you have to think fast. Good special teams players are aggressive, but they also have to be very, very smart. And they have to think on their feet, and they have to know the rules. 75% of the rule book has to do with special teams. It's crazy. So, you're right. We do have to know the rules probably more than anybody.
We've got three hands up. We'll go right down the line, starting with Adam. Go ahead, Adam.
Hey, Dave, a couple questions about the block field goal. First of all, it looked like Watts almost got one on the long kick, the 55-yarder. So did you guys see some kind of something there during the week that maybe you thought you could exploit? And Brad, I'll ask when the next one when he's done.
Yeah, there is every week we have somebody that we're going to go after on the field goal team or the punt team. If we see a weakness, we're going to practice that block for that particular person or a scheme that they run. That kind of fits game to game. So yes, we did. We saw something there, and really Amani did a nice job of getting through there because it's tough. You got legs and stuff you got to run over, and sometimes you don't come clean. If you don't come clean, it's hard to get a block because the operation's so fast. But he was able to get through there nice and clean, and then execute it, keep his eyes open. Sometimes guys come through and they shut their eyes and they turn away and they miss the ball completely. So, but he did a nice job of taking it off, right at the right spot right there and getting a block. The only thing I wish on that play was that, once we scooped and scored it or scooped it up, we got to keep that thing alive. We needed to know that situation there. There's only 2 seconds left. And I wish McCall would have, he says he was trying to pitch it to somebody, but I wish he would have. I wish he would have threw that thing up and let somebody get a shot at trying to score right there. Because the time. Yeah.
My next question was actually about him. I have to admit, I hadn't noticed him on the field goal block team before. What's his value out there? Just a fast guy coming around?
Fast guy on the edge. He's got one of the best get-offs on our football team. So that's why he's out there. He was out there all year last year. And, I could tell how observant you are, but he was there. He was out there all year last year and all there this year too. But until someone gets a block, you really don't know who's out there. So, I mean, I'll give you a little.
I go get a beer when the guys are kicking.
Oh, thanks.
All right, we'll go last to Herbie T.O.B. Go ahead, Herbie.
Hey, Coach, along those same lines, your first part of the response to Adam's question about noticing something on tape. When you put in a fake punt play like that, how much goes into how the Jets were lined up, or not specific to the Jets, or how an opponent lines up when you know that play could probably work?
Yeah, you watch how the corners play. If they turn and run, if they just turn and run immediately, just run to a spot like a zone drop kind of. Then you got them because they're it's just a man situation really for us. We just turn and then he's going to be breaking on a ball and it's too late to get there. So it's not good against everybody. You have to have the right. It goes against the right scheme. So cat's out of the bag now. I mean, that play's dead for us now for the rest of the year probably. So but we've got it. Yeah, I'm just glad we executed it.